Everybody, this is Lilia Galindo in Café con Leche. We are in the studio of Café con Leche in Quartz Hill, California. And today I want to interview Marcos Alvarez. He is a candidate for District 3 in the Palmdale City Council. Welcome, Marcos. How are you?
Thank you, thank you. I'm fine. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor.
It's a pleasure. Let me ask you. Tell us a little bit about you, because do you know people like me who have been working in the community for many years? We didn't know about you until you run for the Palmdale School District in the past election. But tell us a little bit about you, that people can know who are you and why are you running for city council in the district number 3.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marcos Alvarez. I was born in Mexico. I was naturalized in '74. Grew up in East LA, and I decided to move out here in the Antelope Valley for a better life. And I've been living here since 1996. I decided to run in 2020 for the school district because I felt there was a lot of allegation with respect to racial discrimination in the school system. So I said, instead of complaining, let me be part of the solution. And I got over 12,900 votes on there, and people asked me, what are you going to do next? Well, with respect to our community, why haven't you heard of me? Number one, I worked for LA County Social Services for the last 30 years. I've always been an activist for people who cannot help themselves and who don't have a voice. So I'm a shop steward for SEIU 721, which represents over, in my bargaining unit, which is 731, 9,000 employees. For 3 sessions, which is about 9 years, I've been part of that bargaining unit to help uh, bring better wages, respect at the workplace to the workers that provide services to the communities we serve. So that's where I've been. I'm currently your District 3 Planning Commissioner appointed for the area, which is District 3. And by the way, District 3, many people don't know, represents 25th Street East onto 45th Street East, or going south onto and beyond Pear Blossom Highway. So I'm part of the solution. I want to bring change and continued growth to the east side of Palmdale City Council District 3.
How many people live in that district?
District 3 represents over 17,752 residents. And I will tell you this, historically and past practices after attending many council meetings, because I believe you must educate yourself on the issues of the community, and one way of doing that is by attending council meetings. And after you attend, speak in that meetings. Me, you, anybody can speak on a non-agenda item for 3 minutes in those meetings. They're the first Wednesdays of every month. So I'm in challenging you. If you live in this area and you have issues that are happening in your community, you're more than welcome to come in here, 3 minutes, put in your paper, and state your concerns. So, with respect to equity in District 3, do you know that right now the median income in the west side is over $73,000, 73,000 per year in the west side of Palmdale. In the east side, 55,000. That's over what? Almost 18 to 19,000 difference on the income that is brought to the entire Antelope Valley. So the whole Antelope Valley median income for households is over 62,000. Why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because we need to narrow the gap to bring small businesses out into the east side and let that 55,000 per year per household grow to meet the median income of 62, right? So, for example, $9 million was supposed to be going to the east side. A certain council member right now fought to get that back because all of it went back to it went to the west side. We were able to recover over 4.5 million. So I'm running to make sure that there's equitable distribution for any tax revenue that the city generates. We want to make sure that it's distributed accordingly for the communities that need it more, for continued growth for small businesses, for affordable housing, for education, and any other issues happening within our district.
Do you think that the election of November 8th is important for our community and for the United States of America?
Wow, that's a heavy loaded question, and the short answer is yes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we are now, if you look, if you're paying attention to the community, we are now 5 districts, 5. And you have to know the history of why we're five. We're five because there were lawsuits that were filed because community after community, county after county, there were people of color who were not represented. So the Voting Rights Act said we're going to use that as a reason to sue the city. And as a result, we got five districts. And the result is better representation for all people throughout the entire Palmdale area. So, yes, for that reason, this new election of five representatives is very important because now we can get equal representation.
Now, tell me really fast the demographics of the district number three, and do you have an idea?
What do you mean? The demographics
Yeah,
of
yeah,
what?
like of the district number three, how many? How do you classify the people who live there? How many Hispanics live
The
there?
majority of my district. So once again, in my district, we're looking at about 30+% Latino. Less than 24% are white, and less than 12% is African American, and the rest is non-white, non-Hispanic, Asian, and etc. So you see the numbers, you see the gravitation and the growth. And let me tell you, why not have someone who speaks both language and listen to the community's concerns than someone who can speak and understand the entire area? So after knocking on doors, I will tell you this. I stopped by a barber shop over on 30th Street East and S, and one concern she had was when it came to paying her taxes and applying for a loan under the AV measure,
Hmm.
they didn't respond to her. In fact, they billed her $70 and she didn't understand why. She called the office, nobody returned their call. So the net result of that was she had applied independently for a loan to help pay off her business here on the east side of Palmdale. She got a better interest rate independently than through the help of the city of Palmdale. So if and when I win for this district, I'm going to revisit the small business contracts we have with our small business. We want to make sure they get a lower tax rate so they can afford not only to stay afloat, but to at least generate some sort of positive profit.
Uh, how
That's
how
how you put
Uh,
together.
how can you ensure that the money that comes to the city of Palmdale in so many ways of revenue goes to be distributed in the equally in all the east and west? Because what we have seen is that most of the investment, most of the most beautiful parks are in the west side. How are you planning to negotiate that we have equal uh, services in all the Palmdale?
Well, one of the things, and it's a pretty challenging question because as of right now, they voted 4-1 for a rotating mayor, right? To me, that helps level the playing field. So now you have once a year a mayor. Now, one may argue, hey, they took that vote away from me. That may be true. But now that brings parity on how you distribute and implement programs throughout the entire city. We want to make sure that the council representative in all areas of the city do not have what you call special interest groups, someone giving them money just so they can answer for that particular area. We want to make sure there's a code of ethics accountability committee created to make sure that what you just said is not repeated, and making sure that whatever tax revenue, for example, the AD measure, 19 million the first year, it's projected to be distributed to over 24 million the following year. That code of ethics committee will hold them accountable, making sure that whoever applies gets, according to the process and the due diligence, the money that they're seeking, and not just give it to the west side, which is, by the way, exactly what's happening right now. When you
Well,
have a special interest group who's receiving over $250,000 and an ex nonprofit and other nonprofits only receive a fraction of what they're asking for, there's the bias and there's the lack of equity when you distribute these funds.
perfect. Marcos, thank you very much for your time. It was a very interesting interview, and we wish you good luck.
Thank you for having me. Don't forget to vote on November 8th. No matter who you vote for, just go out